Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go to one of my normal suppliers and we're going to go and pick up a new case that I've already been online this morning and ordered as a click and collect. Again, it's one of my usual price range cases. It's anywhere between 20 and 30 pounds, so it's going to be another budget case review. Now when I get to the place where I'm collecting it from, I'm not allowed to film inside, so I'll basically do a quick piece to camera when I get there to let you know I'm there, and then I'll do another piece to camera when I come out, and then we'll get on with the review once I get back home. As you can see, I've still got quite a few of my cases that I've reviewed in the past sitting around, including the Inwin G7, which is still sitting up there. So yeah, we'll go off and pick up the case and pick it up when we get there. Okay, here we go. We're off to my supplier. That supplier is CCL Computers here in Bradford, to go and get the new case that we're going to review today. So off we go. You'll have to excuse if there is a bit of engine noise, a bit of road noise and a bit of wiper noise, because it is actually chucking it down outside today, which is why I will not be filming outside of the car going in and out of CCL. I'll just be doing a little bit of filming going there, a bit of filming coming back, and then we'll go back into the office to do the unboxing and review. And here we are back in the office. The camera actually died on the way to CCL, so I didn't get any footage while I was there. So yeah, we're back in the office. We've got the case. So without further ado, let's get on and unbox it and have a look. Oh, by the way, the case itself is a brand called First Player, and it's a gaming case, and this is their Rainbow R3 case, and I'm hoping it's the one that I picked from the website, but we'll find that out when we got the box open. So here we go. And yes, looking at the camera angle, it is the one that I chose from the website. It is the white version of the case. Seeing as how the last white case I reviewed I wasn't too impressed with, I thought I'd try and find another one and hopefully find a better case to do a white build in. So here we go. Right, so like I said, this is the Rainbow R3. It has what's called their Ambilight technology, which I believe this strip that runs down here is an RGB strip. I'll confirm that when I get the case open. It is actually, I believe, I don't know whether it's my table or the feet on the case, but it's a little bit on the wobbly side. So let's get the side panel off. Oh gosh, they're done up a little bit tight. It's supposed to be thumb screws, but they're not. Let me just grab a screwdriver. Let's see if we can undo them with a screwdriver. There we go. Just give them a little bit of a loosening off. And actually, as I undid that, the panel itself fell a little bit, so there's a little bit of wiggle room on the holes that hold the side panel in place. I think the safest thing for me to do now is going to be to lie it down, because from memory, when I picked this case out, it's actually tempered glass. Very slight tint in it, you can probably pick it up on the camera, so we'll put that down to one side. I'm not a fan of these slight tints in the glass because it will affect how any RGB lighting within the case will come through. So, already I'm not particularly impressed. That strip on the front is RGB, by the way. Right, so We'll start around the front. So we've got the front, plain white front. We've got a grille here. It has actually got a plastic film on, but I'm not going to take that off. I'm going to leave that on to protect. So you've got air intake at the bottom, air intake at the top. On the top we have one USB 3 Type A, two USB 2s, ubiquitous mic and headphone jacks, reset button, and a nice large square power button. We have magnetic dust shield, suitable for, you'll get either you'll just get two 120s in the top of there, so you can either put a pair of 120 fans or a 120 rad in there. Personally speaking, given the clearance underneath that, I would probably only go for fans. Go around the back, we've got a 120 fan opening, all your normal slots, blah blah blah, your IO shield. Go inside, this is where it becomes unimpressive. There's no PSU shroud. There's not really mounting points in the front for fans. There's nothing really there for mounting fans in. So your only intake realistically would be through the top and then one exhaust out the back. This is probably one of the worst cases I've reviewed for fan mounting and airflow. Not impressed at all. You've got no power supply shroud. Underneath you've got no dust filter where your air intake would be for your power supply. And again, this is another one of those cases like the Ions where for some reason they've got mounting screw points directly in the bottom of the case for hard drives or SSDs, and I honestly can't understand why you'd want to mount your storage directly to the base of the case. There's also mounting points on this front panel here for storage as well. As far as motherboard wise is concerned, it will take a full ATX board. So you could go micro ATX, I think it'll have to do mini ATX, no it won't. It'll do micro ATX or full ATX because the actual board mounts come all the way out to here at the front and down. You've got a kind of a shielded entrance for cables from coming around the back. You've got a large opening in the bottom here. In fact, let me take this other side panel off so you can see right through, so you can see where the openings are. I was about to say these ones undo a little bit easier than the ones on the glass panel, but they don't. They do once you give them a little tug, they tend to undo. So that's two for the back panel. Not the best moulding on the back panel for grab points. It's basically just got like two little pulled out dimples in the plate as your grab point. So, you know, thin, cheap steel again, just like the rest of the construction of this case actually. So yes, now as you can probably see, we have 3 cable entry points here for coming up underneath your motherboard. You have a cable exit point here for things like your 24 pin to come out of there, up, and then can come in through either here or here. There's a little bar just here that separates and supports the entire panel here. So yeah, I mean on the back we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 tie down points on the back for cable management. Sorry, make that 10. We've got a tiny little hole in the top left hand corner just here. I'd say it's probably no more than 3/4 of an inch square for bringing an EPS cable through. So if the motherboard that you put in this required an 8-pin EPS, you'd have to hope that your power supply has got a split 4 and 4 and feed one of the 4s through and then the other one in after it, because you have not got the space to feed an 8-pin EPS through that hole. So yeah, I mean, cable management wise, the actual rear panel is flat, so the only real space you've got for cable management is either in this part here or in this trough here. Although just under here you've got a couple of little tags just underneath here, which you could use for mounting a SSD just here. Although why you'd mind it, I mean, they really haven't thought this case out when they've designed it. I'm sorry to say, it's just a bad design. This may be one I may end up taking it back and getting a refund, because I'm just not I'm not impressed with it at all. In fact, in hindsight, the Ions case was probably a better case than this, and that was cheaper. So I mean, as far as the front panel's concerned, you've got actually, it looks like the reset switch isn't a reset switch. It's a switch to cycle through the RGB settings for this. Apparently this has 19 different RGB lighting effects through the front. I was hoping this was going to be a good case to use some of the up here RGB fans as part of a build, but having looked at it now, it's just not going to be good enough. Unfortunately, I'm just not impressed with it at all. So, lesson learned. Even though I have had some good cases at sub £30, this isn't one of them. Don't be impressed by RGB. My lesson. I mean, as for the rest of the connectors, you've got your standard front panels. Your USB and your audio are on standard blocks. Then you've got a USB 3 on a standard block. Your power switch is on an orange brick, and then your LED indicator LEDs are just on plain black connectors. So, and then the actual power for the RGB. Why did you do it? Molex. We hate Molex. They could have just chucked a SATA connector on this and it would have been so much better. So, all in all, not a good case. I would not recommend it. So, sorry CCL, if you do end up watching this video, it's not a case of yours that I would recommend. I might end up taking a trip back to CCL and taking this case back and getting a refund, or at least getting a credit note towards a different case. So there we go. So that is the first player Rainbow R3 gaming case. If I was to give it marks out of 10, purely for the fact that it can take an ATX and it has a bit of RGB, I'll probably give it a 2. To be perfectly honest, the Ions case, which is just here, which was one of the last cases I reviewed, I'd probably actually give that a 3 compared to the 2 I'd give this. So all in all, my suggestion, don't go and buy this case unless you are really in the market for something really cheap. I think this cost £27 from CCL here in Bradford. So unless you're after a really cheap white case with a bit of RGB and you're not bothered that much about the features and benefits of slightly better cases, you just want something cheap and cheerful to build a white build in, then yes, get this one or get the Ions one, both of which were cases I'm not impressed with. Unfortunately, they're both white cases. All of my other cases that I've done have been really good cases, but these two, no. So I think I'm going to stay away from white cases for now, until something good comes along. Maybe get another one of these NZXT H500, but get a white one, because I know they're good cases. So if I ever want to do a good white build, I'll get one of those. Unfortunately, they're more than twice the price of one of these. They're about £80–90 for the H500 if you can find them, because most places now are doing the either the H510, which has got the NZXT Hue control box in it, or they do the replacement, which was the H700, slightly different case. But I digress. So yeah, first player, Rainbow R3 RGB white gaming case with tempered glass side panel. 2 out of 10, I'm afraid. And there we go. That's my review of the case. As always, if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up really do help the algorithms on YouTube and help benefit the channel. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and as always, we'll see you in the next one.